pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, everyone, welcome. First item on the agenda is we approve the minutes from the May 14th, 2024 meeting. Unless there are changes or corrections, I'll entertain a motion that we approve the same.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second?
Thank you. Motion properly moved and seconded. All those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Okay, first item of business we have is a request from CYS Administrator to approve 2 additional caseworker sign-on bonuses. Bonuses are to be paid by June 30th, 2024. And I think the thinking was that as we had approved some previous payments of bonuses to attract potential caseworker applicants, she's hoping that I guess they had some additional monies left and she was hoping to use the same for some additional hires.
Important to note, these are use it or lose it
Yeah,
grant funds, so, and she had anticipated this. When she made her initial request, she said she might come back for more if she was
I do
able to
remember that,
fill the first 4. So luckily, we were able to fill the first 4.
I do remember
And
that.
I will make this in the form of a motion. This is not new funds being appropriated. This is just a carryover of what has been successful to this point in adding some additional caseworkers. So I'll make that in the form of a motion to approve 2 additional caseworkers sign-on bonuses.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Alrighty, motion having been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Alrighty, the second item of business is a request from Treasurer Jay Siegel to approve additional pay for a Department Clerk 3 in his office working out of class for a period of 4 days while the Treasurer and the Deputy Treasurer attend the annual State Treasurers Conference. Thoughts, anybody?
Well, in talking to Mary Ann, this doesn't happen very often because normally you don't see the deputy and the treasurer both out or in any other department, but you know, it is a public-facing office. He is going to be apparently doing some work that's out of his class. So, and apparently, even though it's before I was here, there's some precedent for this. So, I do feel like we're compelled to do it.
Yeah, and I think also as a practical matter, if it would be needed, I think we would lose.
I concur with both of that as per my conversation with Mary Ann also.
Do we have any thoughts as far as an amount?
My thought is just a $25 per day.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
And keeping in mind that this does set a precedent, that this is not something that should come up that often. But as per our union agreement, you're right, John, we would lose if this were ever challenged. So in the form of a motion, I'll approve Jay Siegel's request for additional pay for Department Clerk 3 at a rate of $25 per day.
Second.
Thank you. Motion then having been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Okay, I have nothing else on the agenda. Is there anything else for the good of the order? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Thank you.
And second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Alrighty, and I will turn the matter over to the matter of the Board of Commissioners meeting over to Commissioner Glass.
Well, thank you, sir. Did the pledge. So first item of business is the approval of the minutes from May 28th. Are there any corrections, or can I entertain a motion on that?
I'll move that we approve the minutes from a previous meeting.
And I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Bills, Rob.
Alrighty, general fund $1,112,594.50. Hazmat $767.98. 911 $8,389.50. Domestic relations $3,231.08. And children and youth $83,131.65. For a grand total of $1,208,114.71.
I'll make a motion that we approve the bills as presented by Controller Edwards.
I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. find here. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Rob. All right, personnel issues, we have quite a few today. I'd like to see all these hires. We have a new caseworker at CYS effective June 3rd. A new CO at the jail effective June 3rd, a part-time CO at the jail effective June 10th. A part-time courier for tourism effective June 17th. A new administrative assistant in tourism effective June 17th. A part-time DC3 in the Register and Recorder's Office effective June 19th. And a new maintenance worker 2 at the jail effective June 26th. We have 4 separations, 3 COs at the jail effective June 3rd, June 5th, and June 7th. And then I would like to make special note of the deputy in the Register and Recorder's Office effective June 21st. Has she been?
I think it was about, not quite 13 years.
It's a while. So I know she put in a lot of good service there. And then 2 transfers, administrative assistant in tourism to tourism development manager in tourism effective June 3rd, and DC3 in the Register and Recorder's Office to deputy in the Register and Recorder's Office effective June 24th. Is there a motion to accept those as presented?
So moved.
And seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Public comment, is anybody here for public comment? Seeing no one, we'll dispense with that. Nothing under old business. New business, item number 1, proclaim June 15th as Elder Abuse Awareness Day. And I believe these fine folks are here to talk about that. So if you wouldn't mind coming up so that folks watching on the video can see you.
So I am here for Dennis, because he is not available today, so my name is April.
Hello, April.
Hi. So in honor of Adult Protection Awareness Month, Mature Resources Area Agency on Aging staff urge county residents to wear purple for the week of June 17th through the 23rd to bring awareness to our mission of protecting those who are unable to protect themselves. The color purple represents the problem of elder abuse around the world. We encourage everyone to call and report suspected neglect, abuse, and exploitation of at-risk adults. Our goal, along with our adult protective services, is to ensure the safety of at-risk adults and implement the least restrictive services to prevent future mistreatment. We are committed to advocating for the rights of our vulnerable populations. Senior citizens and persons with disabilities are vital members of our families, our community, and our society. Please join us and support this cause. To report the suspected adult abuse or neglect, please call 814-765-2696.
Tell you what, it's a really important issue. When I was an insurance agent, we had so many cases where there were cases of abuse going on and
Yeah.
fraud and things, and people being taken advantage of. So it's a bigger problem than people.
Yeah, and I actually have some numbers just to
Please.
show the importance. Year to date, which our fiscal year is July to July, beginning of July. Year to date, we've had 488 reports. And that's just a drop in the hat of other calls that we
More
get.
than one a day.
Yeah, oh yeah, we definitely get more than one a day.
Is
Some-
that physical and?
It's physical exploitation, sexual, verbal, it can run a gamut. We've actually had a large increase in exploitation recently too.
What sorts of, when you say exploitation, what sorts of things are
It can be
done?
physical, it can be financial, it can be someone exploiting someone for their medications.
I see.
Yeah, it can, yeah.
We saw a lot of the financial with people getting access and then taking the money
Getting the power of
and
attorney.
doing things they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, getting
Yeah.
the power of attorney, I'm sure, and then.
Yeah, and we get calls from a wide variety, doctors' offices, EMS, general public, law enforcement, so don't ever hesitate to call in, because we will definitely pursue and look into it. Now, we can't always guarantee the outcome, because the older adults do have the right to make decisions, even though we see the bigger picture, we of course can't force our thoughts and beliefs on them, but we certainly will try to help them, so.
Yes, ladies, thank you very much for
We
bringing this
appreciate what
to
you're doing.
everyone's attention. And we appreciate your hard work and efforts in this area.
We're gonna get your picture in the papers, don't go away.
That's what we brought today.
We do have a proclamation here, which I'll read in. Whereas Clearfield County seniors are valued, contributing members of society, imparting a wealth of experience and wisdom in our communities. The National Center on Elder Abuse recognizes the importance of acting to raise awareness, prevent, and address elder abuse. Each year, an estimated 5 million, or 1 in 10 older Americans, are victims of elder abuse, neglect, or exploitation. For each case reported, experts believe that nearly 14 cases go unreported. Clearfield County seniors deserve to live safely with dignity and as independently as possible with support they need. Elder abuse is most often defined as any act that harms a senior or jeopardizes his or her health or welfare. Eliminating abuse to older persons is each community's responsibility. The County of Clearfield is concerned about the risk to our older residents who suffer from neglect or are victims of financial, emotional, or physical abuse. All our residents should watch for signs of abuse such as physical trauma, withdrawal, depression, anxiety, fear, family members, friends, or caregivers. Now, therefore, in recognition of the Mature Resources Area Agency on Aging Protective Services and the many programs serving the elderly throughout the county, we, the Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim the month of June as Elder Abuse Awareness Month, and June 15th, 2024 is Elder Abuse Awareness Day, and urge all citizens to commit to building safer communities for our elderly residents. So a motion to accept this proclamation.
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright. And now it would be pictured. So come on up.
Just
I'm like-
Tell the newbies at this, right?
I'm gonna need to get your names.
Thank you.
Thanks
for getting that.
Thank you, appreciate what you do.
Can you get your names?
Sure.
What's yours?
Annie Livergood.
What's your title?
I'm a protective service caseworker.
What's your organization? Mature Resources?
Yeah. Mature Resources. Yeah, nice long title.
S-H-A-N-E?
Shane is the strong silent type.
Yes.
Can you spell your last name?
W-R-O-T, L-E-S, W-O-R-T-H,
What's your title?
Protective Service Case Manager.
Case manager. Okay, can I have you, April?
Yeah, April Cabello, C-A-L-B-E-L-L-O,
What's your
information, what am I, information and intake specialist.
intake specialist?
Yeah.
Mature Resources too?
Yes.
Thank you.
Alright, thank you. Item number 2, last week we read the proclamation for the B-Boys Little League. We couldn't vote on it, so today we just need to vote to ratify that proclamation. I did read it on Saturday at the 75th anniversary event, which was well attended.
Very good. I'll be happy to make a motion that we recognize, that we affirm the proclamation that we previously discussed, celebrating Du Bois's Little League's 75th anniversary.
And I will gladly second that.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Item number 3, we've been working on things with the different unions. As you know, we've done CYS, we've done probation now. Today we have 3 additional contracts extensions that all have the exact same language for court-related, court-appointed, and residual. Very similar to what we've done with the other groups. It's basically a pay raise in the old contracts ran through the end of 25. So these extend the contracts through 27. They allow for additional wages in 24 and 25. They changed the starting rates. There's a list of the new starting rates. Healthcare for new employees has higher deductibles and higher premium shares, and that's the big highlights of it. Mainly just trying to make the wages more competitive and meet the market where it's at. The workers are when people are looking for jobs, what we're hearing over and over is that their first and mainly only thing they're looking at is wages, so we need to make sure that we're at least catching their attention, so.
And I think you'll see this reflected in the new hires. There has been some hiring at the county level. Of course, part of those are not gonna make long-term. There's also been a couple very quick separations. But we're on the right track, and I think this is a step in the right direction to achieving filling our full complement of staff.
And two positions I really wanna highlight are 911 telecommunicators and sheriff deputies. We've had major problems filling both of those, and I think part of it is because the rate hasn't been high enough, frankly. Both of those are highly skilled jobs that require a lot of training. You know, I know the sheriff has talked to us multiple times about this problem, and unfortunately, we can't just do one, right? They're part of a larger union, so when we address one, we kind of have to take a look at the whole picture, so. And I know you would agree that this should enable you to have a deeper pool of applicants to choose from. I know that's been a problem.
It's gonna make a substantial change to the way that we hire people, and I'm very excited.
And it's not just a matter of hiring new, there's also some restructuring, because we cannot lose retention versus new hire. The cost of training, retention is just as valuable, retention of existing good qualified employees is just as valuable as new hire, so it is a balancing act.
It takes 6 months to put a dispatcher on the floor from the time of hire.
Right.
And another 6 months before they're released. So you have to have at least a year, and then if you don't keep them beyond that, you've just thrown good money after bad, so.
And we have the same problem in the sheriff's department. They require a long training program that is state mandated. And what we find is we send them to that training and then we're losing them. So we're trying to do what we can to keep them around a little bit longer.
And we've had the same thing with CYS, with hiring caseworkers. A hire does not mean you're a caseworker that day. You're hired for that position, but until you can actually be on your own, there's a significant investment in time and training. So this has definitely been a balancing act, and I do thank Commissioner Glass for taking the lead on working on these negotiations.
So
Do we need to do these separately?
I wish Heather was here. I think for the sake of caution, we probably should. I mean, John, would you agree with that?
I would
mean,
I
I
think-
can make you solicitor.
No, that's okay, I think Heather would suggest
I
that we
just-
do it individually.
Okay,
It seemed that we should.
okay, well.
There'd be no harm in erring on the
Yeah,
side
there's
of
actually-
accuracy.
That's a good way to look at it, it won't hurt, and it's probably the safest thing to do.
So let's, keeping in mind that the language is the same for all three of them in terms of the changes, there she is.
There she
I wanna
is.
ask you, we have these three contract extensions, would you recommend we vote on them individually?
Yes.
I figured that.
So I'll entertain a motion
I will
for
make a
court-related.
motion, and keeping in mind that the wording of these is the same, I will make a motion that we ratify the union contract extension on the court-related.
And I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Tom and no.
Okay. Entertain a motion on the court appointed.
I will make a motion that we ratify the union contract extension on the court-appointed side.
And I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
No opposed?
Tom and no.
Fair. And finally, residual, is there a motion to approve that one?
I will make a motion that we ratify the union contract extension, and this will run through 2027 on the residual portion of the bargaining unit.
I will second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed?
I'm opposed, although I will note for the record that I have always felt that I do agree with my fellow two commissioners as to the sheriff's department. I have always felt that the commissioners did try to make a sincere and honest effort to see if something could be worked out specifically for the sheriff's department, but union rules and the law being what it is, it just wasn't permitted. It had to be the same for all, as you said. So that is one area within that bargaining that I felt needed dealt with.
Well, luckily in this case, we were able to get them pumped up a little bit more than even some of the others, cause we told them, look, it's not gonna be one size fits all here, we're trying to fix some problems, and they, to their credit, they agreed with us, so.
No, and then this once again was not a simple, there are some structural elements of the bargaining agreements that we are concerned by. So you can't piecemeal these agreements.
So that's that. Alright, moving on to item 4, we have a purchase of service agreement with Clear Child Services.
I think everyone is now very familiar with Sinclair, thanks to our former commissioner, Ms. Tatum, and all of the services they've provided. We've contracted with them for obviously several years. They provide a variety of services through CYS and juvenile probation. So that is our standard agreement for the upcoming fiscal year with Sinclair.
And this does not reflect any major changes.
Is there a motion to
I will
approve
make
said
a
agreement?
motion that we approve the purchase of service agreement with Clear Child Services.
And I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright, item number 5, purchase of service agreement with Jessica Harris for posting delinquent tax properties, a
Yes,
standard agreement?
It's standard, yep. Several years ago, we did enter a resolution to allow essentially independent contractors to post to help out the tax office. She is one of the new ones she'll undergo. I think she started some of her training, and then upon official approval, she'll finish her training, and I know the director is anxiously awaiting to have someone to pass some postings on to.
Is there a motion to approve that?
I will approve it.
And
Or
I
I'm
will,
gonna move to approve it, excuse me.
second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And finally, item number 6, agreement with Raymark Broadcasting for advertising?
I think this is a new one, although we've advertised with them before, but I don't know that we've had an agreement necessarily through there. It's just the name
Not
change.
new.
Oh, is it? I'm
It's
not used to Raymark. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
what
for
threw me off a
foster
little, the
parent, is that for
CYS
the
one.
foster parent CYS. program?
Yep,
Yeah.
okay, then that's our standard one. I just usually. There we go. Yep,
I know
that's,
their agreements are very simple.
yeah, and then they're covered under, that's through a grant that comes back on there.
Motion to
I
approve that?
will motion that we approve the agreement with Raymark Broadcasting, our only local radio station.
I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright, a couple other announcements, oh yeah, well that, for sure. Before we get to that, I know we wanted to recognize Du Bois Central Catholic Softball, they made the state final, so good luck to them.
State finals, I believe, coming up on Thursday
Thursday.
at Penn State University.
Yes,
This is a major accomplishment for the Du Bois Central Catholic softball team.
they're the only county team that made it. We had a few pretty good teams, but they're
They're the only ones still
the
in.
only ones still standing,
Still
so.
in the running, and
A couple of years ago, didn't the boys or the girls?
Yes, well, one year we had Clearfield girls, DCC boys and DCC
That's
girls
right.
all in
That's
the
right.
finals together, but right now, and I've umpired DCC twice, and she is the best pitcher by far I saw all year, so.
on behalf
By
of the
far.
entire board, we
Yes,
wish
Lord.
them all the best.
We also want to announce,
Two vacancies.
two
on the
vacancies,
housing authority.
two vacancies on the housing authority. So we will accept, anybody who's interested should send us an email, no later than, what would that be, June 22nd, 21st? What's the day there? Today's the 11th, yeah, so the 21st, 21st, Friday the 21st, and then we'll take action on the 25th.
Yeah.
And that's a very important point. And then the only other thing I have that I wanted to mention is, I wanted to give some credit to both Rob and our new treasurer. They've been working to try to look at all of our accounts and raise and get higher interest rates. When we kind of did an accounting of everything, we have accounts at all kinds of different banks with all kinds of different interest rates, most of which were close to zero. And so we're making a very comprehensive effort to, in this interest rate environment, generate more interest for the county, which will, by definition, ease things for the taxpayers, because that's money we don't find somewhere else. So that's an in-process thing, but I did want the public to be aware that there's a lot of work being done behind the scenes on that.
And we have actually, some
We've changed
funds,
some already.
some funds have already been moved to higher interest bearing accounts. A lot of this just, it reflects the times. A couple years ago, when Prime Minister, prior to me being here, but when the interest rates were negligible, this was not a concern. Given the prevailing changes of the Fed and Fed interest rates, this will result in a significant amount of money coming into the county based on interest.
As long as the interest rates stay up, yes. I mean, that's just, obviously, we're subject to the market.
And we certainly don't want to forget about thanking the local banks for taking the time to talk to us and work with us. They're also.
No, absolutely, this has been a group effort, and reaching out to multiple financial institutions. So in particular, thank you to Controller Edwards and Treasurer Siegel.
That's all I have. What, do you have anything
I
today,
have nothing additional today.
gentlemen?
Nothing.
A motion to adjourn.
There you go.
And second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
aye. And as always, thank you all for coming. Thank you from Mature Resources, Jeremy.